I'm Simon Reed. Welcome to the Stadthalle in Vienna and this special exhibition of the mystical powers of the monks of Shaolin, the monastery in northern China. Founded in the year 495, the monastery regarded as the cradle of all martial arts. Originally conceived as a form of military self-defense, indeed used as that at various stages in history. But now it's a national sport in China. During the next hour, you're going to see the monks and their masters demonstrate their extraordinary ability. And taking us through will be James Menzies, a martial arts instructor who spent several months studying as an apprentice at the Shaolin Monastery. And we begin, James, with a demonstration of Qi.
And here we have a Shaolin soldier preparing himself using the Qigong exercises, breathing in nice and deeply, pulling the force up through his legs into the center of his body.
Explosive start.
Yeah. Demonstrating the Iron Head Kung Fu. Straight onto the back.
Now we're going on to a demonstration of staff fighting, and the demonstrator is a monk who was your master at Shaolin.
Yes, this is Wonder Qi. He's a 24-year-old master at the Shaolin Temple, and he's demonstrating the Shaolin staff. This is why he's one of the youngest masters.
Yeah, I guess if he tells you to do something, you tend to do it.
Indeed.
Now, is that a routine he'd have practiced time after time?
He's actually practiced that for a number of years, and he's been doing that probably every day for the past few years, no matter what the weather, rain or shine.
Now a symbolic fight between the staff and the broadsword.
Here we go. Very precise. Not much room for mistakes in this.
How are the monks selected, and how long do they stay actually in the temple?
The selection usually comes from neighbouring Wushu schools from the state, and they hopefully get selected from some of these schools. And a senior monk will often select them maybe out of 1,000 people or more. The Shaolin sword, the most famous of Shaolin weapons.
Amazing sleight of hand. Now we're going to see some hat boxing. There's an interesting story about this.
Yeah, well, hat boxing actually comes from a monk called Tam Mo, who created the Chan sect of Zen Buddhism. He started meditating with the monks on top of the mountain and found that their bodies became stiff after the meditation for so long. Hence, hat boxing was born. And this is what it is here.
Amazing choreography. This is something that they would do in the temple, but it's been expanded and shown here as a show.
To be honest, I've actually seen this sort of thing in the temple, and it's pretty much accurate of how they do train. However, there's some nice sort of camera angles on there that make it look a bit sort of, how shall I say, a bit TV-like.
What's life like, actually, in the monastery? Is it very hard?
It starts very early in the morning, about 4 o'clock, where these monks go up to the mountains, run up there, and they meditate for a couple of hours or more. And they run all the way down on their hands and knees, back in time for breakfast, and then their day starts.
And then it's training?
Training until lunchtime, they break for an hour at lunch, and then it's training in the afternoon till 6.
No education, formal education as we know it?
Not as we know it, no. I mean, they're pretty slack on, you know, learning to read and write properly. And this is what they do every day.
Now we're going to see some more chi. This is the ability of the body to withstand pain, and you're going to see this is fairly obvious stuff that they're going to do here. The knives are going to be walked upon first ordinarily, then carrying the pails.
Yes. I think what's going to happen here is this monk's got to prepare himself. He's going to calm himself down using the Qigong exercises he's been learning for the past few years. And he's going to be drawing upon those reserves to make his feet feel no pain.
So part of this is the chi meditation, and part of it is that they have naturally tough skin.
It's a combination of both, I think. A lot of it's a chi, and obviously they train very hard without shoes, and it does toughen the skin over years, so it's probably a bit of both. It takes years of practice to master the Qigong system. And he's ready.
Ich möchte Ihnen noch kurz die Schärfe der Messer präsentieren.
Just checking they're sharp enough.
Certainly look sharp.
But did these guys have no fear?
I think it's trained in them from a very early age to be quite confident, and I think they don't have any fear at all, from what I know.
When you were in the monastery, you didn't do this, though.
No, I was sick that day.
But you went as an apprentice and,
That's right,
and
yes.
stayed 3-4 months.
That's right, yes, I did.
Amazing. What was the idea that attracted you most to going there?
I think the main reason was the idea of mimicking animals. That really attracted me. The monkey, the praying mantis, and the very weird drunken boxing really attracted me. I just thought I had to do that.
So now the extra weight being carried.
Both buckets full of water.
Well, it's staggering to watch for those who've not seen it before. It's part of the European tour that the monks put on and will be doing again around Europe next month. And we'll be showing you more from the monks of Shaolin right after this commercial break. Shaolin monk Simon Reed alongside Jim Menzies, who is the only British man to be accepted as an apprentice within the Shaolin monastery. Was it tough to do? Was it a lot of red tape?
There was quite a lot of red tape, actually, a lot of letter sending, letters from the state, invitations from sports authorities, so it did take a while, yes.
Now we're going to see an exhibition of the chain.
Very difficult weapon to use, this.
Amazing, it's got speed, strength and grace as well.
That's right. And they hardly ever make a mistake either. Lovely posture. Very tricky.
And you wouldn't want to make a mistake.
No, not like that.
And you can hear the crowd here in Vienna absolutely enthralled for what they're seeing. Now the twin hooks.
Got to be very, very fast and very agile to use these hooks. It takes 2 to 3 years, basic training, before you can go onto these hooks.
There's no actual combat with these kind of implements within the monastery.
There is, yes.
Is it? But competitions as we know them?
The monks actually don't do competitions themselves because they're bound by spiritual rules, so they can't do that. But they do hold tournaments for other people to come and join in. 3-section staff. Devastating weapon from the old rice flails.
And very difficult to defend against.
Exactly, the range.
Razor sharp. Can all of these guys do good work on all of the instruments?
Pretty much, yes, though the monks will actually specialise after 3 or 4 years in one element. That's the double chain. The most difficult of all the Shaolin styles to perform.
Just a momentary slip,
Yeah.
but phenomenal speed.
Indeed. Excellent.
Amazing coordination.
Takes years of practice, hard training.
Now this is the basic Shaolin style.
That's right. Most basic of weapons, it can be the most devastating. Firm posture.
Wonderful explosive leaps there.
Very agile indeed. Very impressive. Here we have Wonder Ching with the broadsword. Very heavy indeed, can weigh as much as 40 kilograms. And he's making it look very easy indeed.
Mentioned it's the cradle of martial arts. The separate martial arts like Kung Fu all really owe their origins to the Shaolin Temple.
They do, yes. Most of the martial arts, Tai Chi and Shaolin Kung Fu, owe their roots to the Shaolin Temple. And here we have the 8-foot piles, where they train for balance and agility. They're actually very, very high once you're on top, believe you me.
Have you tried this?
Yes, I have, and I've fallen. And now they're harmonizing with each other for coordination.
Fight!
Lots of chokes, grabs and kicks. And landing perfectly.
Now another demonstration of withstanding pain. How much conditioning do they do on their bodies themselves?
They train very, very, very hard indeed, and probably repeated traumas to the body actually helps them over time.
When you say traumas, that's striking the body?
Striking the muscles and the joints, so when they grow back, they grow a little bit tougher each time. And it takes years, and they're very, very tough people.
And that process starts as soon as they're taken on?
That's right, yes, from the very first day. Two monks there just preparing themselves with Qigong exercises, using the Qi within their bodies. Very difficult to control yourself properly in an audience. Tying the belt around the Qi line, which is the navel, to hold in the power. Bed of nails. And finally the concrete slab.
Unbelievable.
Not a scratch.
And that's something they more or less have to do nearly every day to keep the body that
That's
tough.
right. Needs constant pressure all the time to keep that body at the state it's in.
Now a group demonstration of the Shaolin style.
Shaolin monks now working in harmony, showing that they can work in a group.
these monks funded?
Pretty much funded by the state, the Honan province. Sports councils put a bit of money into them as well.
And when you go there as an apprentice, you fund your own way there?
I fund my own way there, that's right. Monk here with the yellow belt, showing iron body kung fu.
Now, it's not the heaviest wood, but it would really severely hurt the likes of me.
Certainly, yes. Very impressive indeed.
And no headache pill needed.
No, definitely not.
Well, it's a fascinating concept and visually very stimulating indeed. The monks of Shaolin, and there'll be more from them right after this. Really intriguing. The abbot of Shaolin, Shi Wang, who's 78 years old, and his personally selected disciple.
Yeah, here we have Shami, who's 6 years old, who's studying childhood kung fu, as is the abbot, and he's going to give us a demonstration of what he's learned so far in the temple, and the abbot probably will as well. Let's see.
Now, he'd have been selected from hundreds, thousands?
Maybe 1,500 people, and together they will train together the rest of their time in the temple, a bit like father and son relationship. Impressive. 6 years old, youngest disciple in the Shaolin Temple.
It's uncanny. And he'll be with the abbot for the rest of his days, or the rest of the abbot's natural life, I guess. At what stage do the monks leave the temple?
Well, they can leave the temple any time they like, but to leave as a Shaolin master, you've got to actually defeat your masters in a mock battle. Only then can you leave the temple as a Shaolin master.
How, in fact, do you defeat your master in a mock battle? Is it judged by the other monks and masters?
It's pretty much a real battle. I mean, the mock battle that's showed in the Shaolin at the moment is just a mock battle, but in reality, that is quite a serious battle.
This is more what you term child kung fu.
Yes, more child kung fu. 78 years old.
And showing great flexibility. Not many men in the prime of life who can do this.
No, I don't think they can. Perfect balance there.
Do they socialise outside? Obviously on the tour, here they come into contact with other people, but in their general life around Shaolin, are they internally inside the monastery the whole time?
Yes, they are, and I think this tour is going to be the first time that they've actually been outside of China and mixed with Western cultures. So it'll be interesting to see how they feel about it.
Well, it's gone down a tree here in Vienna, that's for sure.
That's the youngest and the eldest people, disciples rather, from the Shaolin Temple.
Now some more, what you term iron body kung fu.
That's right. Here's another demonstration of the power of Qi, the internal power which drives the monks. What's going to happen is going to use his Qi Kung experience to pull in the power into his stomach and around his body to protect him from the points of these spears. So he's drawing in the power from around him.
And you were telling me that when they put their hands behind them, they're drawing in the power from the past.
That's right. In fact, when they do put their hands behind them, they can actually collect any part of their past lives and bring them forward for that instant.
Not a scratch. It's staggering.
Seems to work very well. Returning the power back to the ground. Another demonstration of the iron body kung fu. Preparing himself into his navel, his chi center. Concrete block. And again, not a scratch. Amazing.
They really are quite phenomenal specimens. And you'll be seeing one more part of the Shaolin show after this. In the Stadthalle in Vienna. And our last look at the monks of Shaolin on their first European tour. And this, Jim, is a symbolic fight we're going to see.
Yes, we're going to see a symbolic fight of a monk who wishes to leave the temple as a master. In order to do this, he's going to beat his teachers in different weapons and succeed. If he does so, then he's allowed to leave the temple as a master. So at first he's unarmed. One down. To the staff. The twin hammers. Fighting a spear. Ducking and weaving. Very good. Mortally wounded. Spear and broadsword. Crescent moon spear. Courageous battle.
And terrific viewing. Going back to what you're saying about the monks leaving the temple, they're allowed to leave the temple presumably at any stage, but they can't count themselves as masters.
That's right.
And use the Shaolin word.
They cannot use the Shaolin that they've learnt at all. You have to leave the temple and leave everything where it came.
Now, another example of this amazing ability to withstand pain. These iron bars.
Just going to show these around to everyone, make sure that they're real. Certainly sound real.
But in case anybody's cynical watching at home, there's no trick to this.
No, there's no trick at all to this. This is real. Again, the monk drawing the chi power to the top of his head. Pulling the power forward. Pulling the force in from all 4 directions.
Again, the secret here is this amazing mental ability and the fact that they put their head into trauma.
That's right.
Time after time.
That's right. It's a combination of the two. It takes a lot of time to learn this trick. It takes years and years and years to get the control for chi, to be able to put that on the top of your head.
When you watch this, you'll scarcely believe it.
Again, not a scratch.
And the reaction is if he hasn't done anything extraordinary at all.
That's right.
And
Part and parcel of everyday life to him.
Yeah, for him he hasn't done anything extraordinary. Now, this is what's called drunken fighting, which seems a remarkable thing for them to demonstrate, but you wouldn't have thought that they have any contact with alcohol, but I'm wrong.
Yes, actually, this was brought about when the state actually allowed the Shaolin temple to drink. As you can see here, he's mimicking a drunk man. And it was actually brought about because when the monks actually did drink and did get drunk, they didn't want to be stopped by beggars. So they evolved this fighting art to seem like they were drunk. That way, anybody who was trying to attack them wouldn't know whether they're drunk or not. Gracefully done.
Yes, it's a lot more control than you see out of a pub on a Saturday night at closing time.
Definitely. Nicely done indeed.
What I find just as remarkable is that even at this fine stage, they hardly look like they're going to get hurt, yet there must be some injuries along the way. I guess it's in the early stages of training.
That's right, a lot of injuries actually put down to not actually preparing the body with chi first, and that's where they say a lot of injuries come from.
So now the finale, series of routines encapsulating all the key fighting techniques.
No mistakes. It's just everyday training for these guys.
Well, you spent 3 or 4 months there, and I understand you're going to go back there. Obviously not frightened off by it. You're going back there again later this year.
Yeah, I'm actually going back in July to train for 3 or 4 months and going for the Shaolin Festival in September. So,
and what's that?
That's a festival held by the monks, inviting martial arts people from all over the globe to join in at a festival of martial arts, and there's prizes to be had, so hopefully I might come back with a medal. You never know.
Oh, the very best of luck.
Thank you.
Does this give you a hunger for it, watching this again?
It does indeed, yes. I want to go tomorrow.
When you train as a martial arts instructor, do you find the stuff that you've learned there invaluable?
Oh, yes, definitely. I didn't at the time, because I felt, you know, insignificant amongst these guys, but when I came home, I noticed a little difference. Some of these weapons very heavy indeed. Double chain again.
He is fantastic.
Brilliant indeed. Cudgel. Stabbing and striking. The 3-section staff. Fantastic.
Well, that just about brings our program to an end. I hope you've enjoyed it at home. It's been fascinating for me. My thanks to Jim Menzies for taking us through it, and good luck, Jim, in your travels later this year.
Thank you very much, Simon.
Monks of Shaolin due to make another tour later this year, and there'll be some European cities involved in that. If you want to, I hope you can catch up with them then. It's been riveting viewing. From me, Simon Reed, goodbye for now.
This next